You want to build a PC? What's up everyone, Alex here, and welcome back to the channel. So we're looking ahead at 2025, and one of the questions I get all the time is, what PC should I build right now? It's a great question because the landscape is always shifting with new parts coming out and prices constantly changing. It can be a lot to keep track of, but that's what we're here for. Today, we're going to break it all down. I've put together my list of the top 5 gaming PC configurations for 2025. This isn't just about picking the most expensive parts and calling it a day. We're looking at the complete picture. The goal here is to give you a clear roadmap, whether you're looking to build your first rig or planning your next big upgrade. Each of these builds has been carefully considered, so you know you're getting a solid recommendation. This list is all about finding that perfect sweet spot between a few key things: raw performance, overall value for your money, and maybe most importantly, future-proofing. We want these machines to not just play today's games, but to be ready for what's coming next. So we'll cover everything from the absolute top-of-the-line beast to a smart budget build that still punches way above its weight. Let's get into it. Alright, first up, let's start at the top. This is the no compromises build. The one you go for when you want the absolute best 4K gaming experience possible, with every single setting cranked to the max. We're talking about the ultimate 4K gaming beast. For this build, we're not cutting any corners. The goal is silky smooth, high refresh rate 4K gaming, and for that, you need the best silicon you can get your hands on. It's the kind of machine that makes you just stop and stare at the visuals, because they're that good. At the heart of this monster, we're looking at a top-tier CPU. Think something like the next-gen flagship from Intel or AMD, whatever is holding the performance crown in early 2025. This processor needs to have a high core count and incredible single-core speeds to eliminate any potential bottlenecks for the GPU. Speaking of the GPU, this is where a huge chunk of the budget goes. We're pairing that CPU with the most powerful consumer graphics card on the market, like an NVIDIA RTX 5090 or AMD's RDNA 4 equivalent. This card is the key to unlocking that high frame rate 4K gameplay with ray tracing fully enabled. But power is nothing without speed, so for storage, we're going all in on Gen 5 NVMe SSDs. We're talking multiple terabytes of the fastest storage available. This means your operating system, your applications, and your games will load almost instantly. No more staring at loading screens. We'll wrap all this high-end hardware in a premium case with excellent airflow and a robust cooling solution, probably a 360mm AIO liquid cooler, to keep those powerful components running cool and quiet, even under the heaviest gaming loads. This build is overkill for most, but if you want the best, this is it. Okay, so not everyone needs or wants to spend the price of a used car on a gaming rig. For the vast majority of gamers, the real sweet spot is 1440p. And that brings us to our second build, the balanced performance build. This is the configuration I'd recommend to most people. It's the perfect intersection of price and performance, giving you an incredible high refresh rate gaming experience at 1440p without completely emptying your wallet. It's smart, efficient, and powerful. For this build, we're focusing on the best bang for your buck components. For the CPU, we're stepping back from the absolute flagship and looking at something like a next-gen Core i5 or a Ryzen 5 or 7 series processor. These chips offer fantastic gaming performance, often matching their more expensive siblings in games, but at a much more reasonable price point. They have more than enough cores and clock speed to handle any current or upcoming game you throw at them, making them a very smart choice for a gaming-focused machine. The GPU is the star of the show here. We're aiming for a card that's purpose-built for high frame-rate 1440p gaming. Think something along the lines of an NVIDIA RTX 5070 or a comparable card from AMD's lineup. This tier of GPU typically offers the best performance per dollar and will let you max out the settings in most titles at 1440p and still get well over 100 frames per second. We'll pair this with a fast Gen 4 NVMe SSD and 32GB of DDR5 RAM, which is becoming the new standard. This build is the reliable workhorse. It's the smart money play for a fantastic gaming experience. Now, let's talk about value. It's easy to build a great PC when money is no object, but the real challenge, and where it gets interesting, is building a great PC on a tight budget. This is our budget-friendly powerhouse. The goal here is to deliver a solid 1080p gaming experience, hitting that 60+ frames per second mark in modern titles, all while keeping the cost as low as possible without making critical sacrifices. This build is all about smart component selection and getting the most performance for every dollar spent. The key to a successful budget build is identifying where you can save money without crippling the performance. We're likely looking at a previous generation CPU, maybe a solid 6-core processor from AMD's AM4 platform, or a non-K Intel Core i3 or i5. These chips still offer excellent gaming capabilities and can often be found at a significant discount, especially when bundled with a motherboard. This lets us allocate more of our budget towards the component that matters most for gaming, the graphics card. For the GPU, we're hunting for the best value in the entry-level to mid-range market. This could be something like an NVIDIA RTX 4060, or a strong competitor from AMD or even Intel's Arc series. A card in this class is more than capable of delivering a great 1080p experience and can even push into 1440p with some settings adjustments. We'll round it out with 16 GB of DDR4 RAM, which is still perfectly fine for gaming and very affordable, and a 1TB SATA or budget NVMe SSD. This build proves you don't need to spend a fortune to be a PC gamer. Bigger isn't always better. For a growing number of people, desk space is a premium, or they just prefer a more minimalist, clean setup. That's where this next build comes in, the compact Mini-ITX setup. This is for the gamer who wants all the power of a high-end desktop but in a package that's a fraction of the size. Building in a small form factor, or SFF, case presents its own unique set of challenges, particularly with thermals and component compatibility, but the end result is something incredibly sleek and powerful. When you're building small, every component choice is critical. You need parts that fit, but you also need to manage heat effectively in a very confined space. For the CPU, we'll pick a power-efficient but still very capable chip. The GPU selection is also tricky. We need a model that physically fits inside a small Mini-ITX case, so we'll be looking at specific 2-slot designs or shorter cards, but we're still aiming for high-end 1440p or even 4K performance. Manufacturers have gotten really good at packing a lot of power into smaller cards recently. The magic of an SFF build is in the case itself. We're talking about cases that are barely larger than a gaming console but can house some seriously powerful hardware. This requires a specific Mini-ITX motherboard, an SFX power supply, and clever cable management to ensure there's enough room for air to flow. Cooling is paramount, so a low-profile air cooler or a small AIO liquid cooler is almost a necessity. The final product is a testament to engineering, a tiny, quiet box that can play any game you want. It's the ultimate sleeper PC. Our final build is for a specific type of user, the gamer who is also a creator. This is the streaming and content creation rig. When you're gaming and streaming or recording and editing videos, your PC is doing double duty. It's not just about frames per second in-game, it's about having a smooth, stutter-free stream for your audience and fast encoding and rendering times when you're finished. This build is optimized for multitasking and heavy workloads, balancing gaming prowess with serious productivity horsepower. The most important component in this build is the CPU. We need more cores and more threads. A processor from AMD's Ryzen 9 series or Intel's Core i7 or i9 lineup is the way to go here. The extra cores are crucial for handling the game, the streaming software like OBS, and any other background applications simultaneously without dropping frames in either the game or the stream. A strong CPU also dramatically speeds up video rendering times in software like Adobe Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve, saving you a ton of time. To support this powerful CPU, we're equipping this rig with 64 GB of fast DDR5 RAM. For heavy video editing, especially with 4K footage, 32 GB can get filled up pretty quickly, so bumping to 64 GB provides a lot of breathing room. For the GPU, we'll choose a high-end NVIDIA card, as their NVENC encoder is still the gold standard for high-quality, low performance impact game streaming. And finally, a multi-drive storage solution is key. A super fast NVMe for the OS and applications, another large NVMe for active project files and games, and maybe a large hard drive for long-term archival. This is the ultimate do-it-all machine. So there you have it, my top 5 PC builds for 2025. We've covered the entire spectrum, from the absolute pinnacle of 4K gaming performance to the super smart budget build that delivers an awesome experience without the high price tag, and a few specialized options in between. The PC market is always exciting, and hopefully, this gives you a great starting point for your next build or upgrade. The best part about PC building is that these are just templates. You can tweak and customize them to perfectly fit your needs and budget. Now I want to hear from you. Which one of these builds was your favorite? Are you leaning towards the balanced 1440p machine? Or are you dreaming of that ultimate 4K beast? Let me know down in the comments. And if you have your own PC configuration that you're proud of, or a part recommendation that you think is a great value, share it down below. The comment section is a great place for all of us to learn from each other's experiences and find the best new hardware. Ultimately, building a PC is a super rewarding experience, and I hope this video has been helpful. If you enjoyed it or learned something new, doing all the YouTube things would be greatly appreciated. Hitting that like button really helps the video out, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on so you don't miss any of my future tech videos. I've got a lot more planned for 2025. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.